Daily Broadside, day 723. Let's talk about tattoos for a minute, or for a couple minutes. I am, what was it, 3, 4 weeks ago, I went and got 5 more tattoos, which brings me up to, best I can count, because it gets a little complicated when they all start blending together. But best I can count, that's 69 tattoos. And for me, this has been, like, I got my first one when I was 18. I hid it from my mom for about 4 hours, and I owed her like $20, and she went in my wallet, and I was like, oh, it's in my wallet, and she went in my wallet, and she found a card from Carolina Tattoo, or I got this crappy tattoo from an apprentice. Don't ever do that. I don't care how good they are. Just wait till they're, bona fides. But and she was like, it said like care for a new tattoo, and she's like, what is this? So, and from there, it's all been downhill. And my obsession with it is, I grew up not watching sports. I didn't get into basketball and all until like the late 80s, early 90s. So most of my life, all of my life, but my formative years were spent, my idols were not Mickey Mantle and Hank Aaron, people like that. It was, musicians and all. And for me, I was a huge Motley Crue fan. That's kind of what got me into metal, and I don't really call them metal, but that's what springboarded me into Maiden and Priest and Metallica and all the stuff that came after it. And when Dr. Feelgood came out, they all had tattoos, but it wasn't, it was like Lemmy, from Motorhead. You just had one here and one here and one here, like people didn't have like full sleeves. Like Chris Holmes from Wasp did. There was a few people, but when Dr. Feelgood came out and the videos came out and Nikki and Tommy had gone and gotten sleeves, I was fascinated. And I was like, one day. And, here we are. So I'm going in November to start my chest piece, because that's one of the last things I got left. Because currently I got like 2, maybe 3 things left on my left leg, and it'll be completely covered. I've got 7 or 8 on my right leg. I've got my entire back, which was horrible. It was a long year. It was like 10 or 12 sessions. There's probably like 30 or 40 hours just involved in my back. Obviously both sleeves are done. I've got both ribs. I've had those for a while. I've got some stuff on my stomach. And it gets worse. I remember when I got the first one and it was up here, and I was like, that's not too bad. It really isn't that bad, And then I got my next one over here, and then my next one over here, and my next one over here. I had my arms like half sleeves for the longest time, and I was like, these really aren't that bad. Even the inside stuff, it tickles a little bit, but it's not that bad, And then you start doing other stuff, And for me, it's just fascinating to me talking to people that have them, how different the body is. For me, my left calf was miserable. My leg was convulsing. My right calf, nothing. Both my elbows, those were fine, and I actually got them done. I didn't like skip out too much. I need to get a little bit more right there, but and, the elbows weren't bad. The knee was miserable. I'm not looking forward to the other knee. Oddly enough, my shins, like if I literally wasn't seeing him do it, I wouldn't even know I was getting tattooed. My shins are completely numb. It's very strange. One of my ankles hurt. The other one was nothing. It wasn't too bad. The stomach is horrible. The ribs weren't that bad, and everybody says that's one of the worst things. I didn't find that bad at all. The back is miserable. The further you get from the spine, for me, was just the outsides of the back were just so bad. I remember the first day when we got done outlining the clipper ship that I put in the middle of it. I'd had some stuff at the top already. And I was like, I don't think I'm going to be, I might just have some line work on my back for the remainder of my life, because this is a long process that I'm not looking forward to, because it just sucks. It sucks so bad. But the back of my leg, that hurts, and it's very sensitive. But, it's just funny how some people are, they're like, oh, this was so bad, and other people are like, it didn't really that hurt. Some of them are true to form. Your stomach is, I've never heard anybody say the stomach doesn't hurt. I've never heard anybody say the knee doesn't hurt. Elbows and ribs are mixed. But most of my stuff is, bands. The stuff that, I've just followed my entire life. All my favorite bands is what probably 80% of my tattoos are. Tool, and Meshuggah, and Buckethead, and Opeth, and Mastodon, Lamb of God, Metallica, Sepultura, Gojira. I've got all that stuff on me, and that's kind of what I've got most of my stuff kind of patterned after. And it's kind of weird. It's kind of bittersweet because I'm getting to the point where, in a couple more years, I'm not going to have much else to do, really, theoretically. And that'll be kind of weird. And I'm not going to go blackout like some people are doing just to have something new to do. But, it's funny how if you've ever had a tattoo that sucks, not something on your upper arm, but something that's just in a very sensitive spot, and you're going through it and you're like, God, this sucks. Why did I do this? Why did I do this? This is so bad. I like the process, but the process does suck. But then you leave and you're like, you forget about the pain. You're like, all right, well, let's sign up something for next month, and you come right back because pain's fleeting. It goes away. You don't really remember it. I mean, I remember how bad some of this stuff sucked, but not enough to make me quit doing it. You know what I mean? But it is kind of cool when you kind of vault yourself into the strata of people that have, I'm in the minority of people that have as many tattoos as I do. Most people will have 3 or 4 or 5 or something like that, and that's cool, whatever. I mean, not everybody needs to be covered. That's fine. But it is kind of neat because you see people that, like, I can appreciate, you go to a show or you go to the beach or you go to, a tattoo convention or anywhere where you're seeing a bunch of ink, and you see somebody that's either got what you got or they've got more, or they've got it in places that you're like, oh, I got to do that next. That dude's got his whole stomach done, and that's going to suck so bad. But there's like this like kindred, appreciation for it, which is kind of cool because you realize, how much he embraced that suck, because that's basically what it is. You're embracing the suck. So anyway, I'm probably at some point, when I get my chest finished, I'll probably do like a tattoo tour because I've had people ask me, what all this mess is, and that's fine. That would be kind of interesting. But you're probably going to be like, it's just a bunch of bands. I've got some movies like that right there is, you can't really tell because I can't bend my arm, but that's Jack Nicholson from The Shining. If you see real close, it's the carpet from the Overlook Hotel, like one of my favorite movies. So I've got a few movie things, characters and whatnot, but primarily it's just a bunch of music stuff, which is I don't know, it's just what I do. But anyway, that's all I think I have to say about that. That's all I have to say about that. Jenny, he's so smart, Jenny. All right, y'all have a great day.